one last thing along those lines is you also made another transition in this last year or so, which is you did the Cadian move. You went from being the AWP IGL, which is a very specific type of IGLing, to being just the IGL. Was there a transition period in that sense? It seems like that suited you quite well.
It's interesting because I am exactly on the same table I was sitting when I just made that move. I'm right now in Relog Media here in the boot camp. I'm here after the tournament, and they just gave me opportunity to be practicing here. Thanks for the Yurik guys and all those guys. And I came here from Molodoi for the first time and I decided to transition. And that was my reference was kind of Cadian as well. And I knew it wasn't really a good transition and it was super difficult for him to adapt. So when I sat here on this table, I was like, what do I need to do to do not be a Cajun 2.0 in a sense where I need to do something different? Because it's most likely what can happen, right? If I don't do something super correct, that's where I'm going to, and I don't want to have to happen. So I remember coming to this table and like I'm gonna put so much emphasis on my individual skill and making sure I'm doing all the micros on the keyboard correct. Like I'm gonna pay a lot of attention into it. And if you download the first games I played, I think I played my BR on Anubis, one of the first games. My micro was insane. Like I was even on the warm up, I was doing some donk slides and I was hitting shots on those. I was like, dude, I'm on another level of the rifle, and I really felt very good individually. But I think with maps coming, and then I think I kind of stopped putting so much emphasis into that and start working more into the IGL role, because I lately after those games, I eventually lost some matches, and I was like, my contribution has to come the biggest on what I can do as an IGL into the team. So yeah, killing is important and all those things. I need to step up. I need to be on form. But where I need to be is I need to guide the team better. So if I have to sacrifice my numbers, if I'm not putting so much emphasis on my micro, that's secondary, But yeah, but I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable, and it was very refreshing too. After so many years playing, having the chance to look to the game from a different POV, challenge myself in different ways. Eventually play taco rolls, play cello rolls, play all those guys. I'm like bashing those guys. You cannot do that. You should be thinking like this. That's how they do it.
It's harder than you realize, right?
Yeah, they will stop the review. Now it's you doing it. And you're like, okay, that's fucked up. Okay. It's not easy, They're super fun as well because it's challenging.
Why do you think you've succeeded so far at making the transition, whereas other people have failed? Because, I mean, we saw what happened to Cadian, and obviously he had a really rough time switching from op to rifle, but even just looking at your numbers statistically, I mean, the eye test is already good. I remember the 2v4 round you guys had against Falcons where you had the MP9 and you're nailing Nico in the face with it. But why are you able to, over the course of the switch, maintain a decent level? Like you obviously dropped off statistically lightly, but if I look at you compared to just other riflers with similar ratings to you, some of them aren't even in-game leaders.
Yeah, so I think over the years, it has always been one of my characteristics. I have never been an IGL who would treat myself as a star in game, like in a sense where I would centralize all the plays around me, and then you guys do that because I'm going to kill here. I was always trying to feel myself into the shoes of what I can do to the team. And as an Awper, that was pretty good in 16, 17 because the game was lower, right? Not many things happen at the same time, not many people contesting stuff. So you could pace those things pretty well. As the game starts developing, people are playing more faster, there's more information, there's more combats here and there. It's just harder to do what I was doing on the same pace because the game has a different pace. So this has been my characteristic to always look how I can help the team, including with the AWP. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes I was struggling with the AWP is because I wasn't doing AWP things. Like sometimes I would go first as an AWP because I know that's the entry time, and if we lose this time, it's going to be different. So I'm going to go first and I'm going to die, someone's going to trade me. So there's a lot of instincts where I was applying a rifle LGL technique, even if I was AWPing. So that's one of the things that helped me here now, because right now it's easier because I can go for that instincts. I can get the team to do what I want on the exact time, and it's not going to cost us an Awper. The Awper is pretty important. So I think that stylistically, I was always someone who'd play for the team in a sense, which sometimes would be even harmful for the team because I should be doing Awper things, And even some teammates at some point would say, "Fallen, I think you were over-exaggerating here. It's not supposed to do this." But then on the other hand, how do you get this guy to understand that he should be doing those things? And if he's not going to do it, then I think someone has to do it. I'm going to do it myself. So there's a lot of lines that I have crossed over the time. And one thing that helped is this mindset. I think secondarily what helps a lot is the type of teammates that I have. One big difference I know because of stories I heard from Yekindar, and you can see from his interaction with Kaden in the past as well. Stylistically, when I'm trying to create a system for the team, I want to hear what everyone thinks and want to make sure that we are trying to play how everyone thinks the game should be played. and then we come to mutual understandings, and then we cross some lines, and then we
Right.
arrange. And I think that's what makes Yekindar, for example, to feel that he belongs on the team and that he wants to play here, and he feels the comfortable zone where he can perform. And in exchange, I get someone who's just so smart into the game and so capable that helps a lot the team as well. I'm not gonna lie, like the T sides on Fury are not only because of me. They're 100% have never been. Even in SKLG, like, can you say it's only for Fallen? No, definitely not true. But just a combination of ideas from people, and then the ability of choosing or not choosing when you don't have to. I'm going to give you an example on this Mirage game we played against Mongols. I had one of the cold stone games of my life. It was an awful game. It started with me switching Q on pistol round. I bring my knife to the fight, and then I couldn't win. And then CT side super difficult, B player goes to the T side. Yekindar is giving a lot of ideas. He's feeling the game. He's playing well. At some point, second round, I was like, bro, just call it. Like, you're feeling much more than me. I'm just gonna be helping. So that game completely called by Marek on this game. He's giving the ideas. He's calling mid rounds. And then match finishes. I'm like, bro, you carry the hardest one. And he's like, we got 4 more maps to play. Second forced by on Inferno next map. I'm back into it. Having a good call. So I think one of the things as a IGL is also to trust people that are around you and make sure they feel comfortable. I think that's one of my best abilities and why I think it's working, and it's working fast.